Happy Friday. Looks like we're heading into the weekend with some stormy weather. It's Bishop on Air. Wanted to get the story out to you before the weekend, and that is a motion's been filed to have two Supreme Court justices recuse themselves in the challenge against Illinois' gun ban. We've tracked this before. If you recall, the governor gave $1 million each to two Supreme Court justices before they were elected in 2022. He then signs the ban on 170 semi-automatic firearms and magazines over certain capacities January 10th. You've got the gun registry as well as part of that, but you had lawsuits filed in both state and federal courts. Now, the federal cases, those are all consolidated in the Southern District. You'll hear the arguments April 12th in East St. Louis. But the state-level case out of Macon County, where a judge declared a final ruling that the law is unconstitutional, that's all the way in the Illinois Supreme Court right now, where you have the justices set to hear the arguments in mid-May. But questions about judicial ethics and whether or not there's any kind of public confidence that might be undermined because of the campaign contributions that Pritzker, as a top defendant in this case, gave these Supreme Court justices. It's not just Pritzker, it's also House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch, who gave six-figure donations to each of these candidates. The question's been raised as to if there's a conflict. Well, State Representative Dan Calkins' attorney, who's the plaintiff in this case, his attorney filed a motion, and we've got that motion. You can read about it at thecentersquare.com/Illinois. And if you recall, we asked the governor about this in early March. You can watch that and hear his response. We'll definitely talk a lot more about this Monday morning, but I would urge you to go read that motion. It lays out the arguments and ultimately asks for the two Supreme Court justices to recuse themselves or have the court disqualify the justices from any involvement in the consideration of this case. Again, the Macon County case from State Representative Dan Calkins, the latest in that in front of the Illinois Supreme Court, is that they want to have these two justices recuse themselves. Find the story, thecentersquare.com/Illinois. While you're there, check out all the other state reporting we have and how taxpayers are impacted by their government. You can also find out national stories. And while you're there, do me a favor. Sign up with the newsletter, all right? And that way you can get updated on everything we do, including when we break stories like this about any of the gun ban challenges. We'll talk a lot more about this Monday morning. I'll see you there. It is Bishop on Air. Have yourself a safe and enjoyable and relaxing weekend.